creep doesn't know if it's a good idea or not, so he throws the idea out and kind of gauges everyone's reaction to see how it goes. And like, if it's not well received, he's like, "Oh no, I was just kidding.
So what creepy thing has he said? And like, give us an example.
Okay, so
Well,
the very first
really-
situation that happened with him, where we got annoyed and didn't even kick him. We let him stay for an hour after he did this. He came into VC when it was just 77, and Bailey, I think, was the other person in there. She can confirm if it was her. And he started calling 77 a Zaysim, calling him fat, calling him a bunch of fucking names. So 77 muted him on his end. 77 can't server mute anybody. Now everyone in the VC mutes them on their end. No one has server muted him.
Okay. So that was one example of, I mean, because I've come in your guys' VC and also done that to Mr. 77, and then he threatened to fight me, and then I got.
Oh, you threatened to fight him IRL.
No,
you
that's
threatened
not
to fight him
the case at
IRL.
all.
I was there for that.
That's not
I
the
was there
case
for
at
that.
all.
That is exactly what happened.
defend
That's
yourself.
why you got timed out, because you literally wrote in the main chat that you would fight him in real life.
Zay, we had agreed. Zay, me and him had agreed on the time and place. Me and him mutually.
You said you wanted to fight him. You said you were going to take it IRL. You took it IRL.
He started out by saying that he was
Okay,
moving to New
excuse
York.
me.
That's what he
So
said.
Buff Weeb is in the chat, and his chat messages are getting quite deleted quite quickly. If you would like to come up, no, excuse me.
I'm not deleting anybody's messages.
I didn't say you did. Did I? I did not say you did.
You realize we have mods. If his messages are getting deleted, it's because he's saying something that deserves to get deleted, Glammy. So maybe stop being retarded right now.
That bad. They were opinions. Shut up.
I think we need to keep a close eye on Glammy, because I think back camp is. We need to keep it close.
Excuse me. I am speaking. Mr. Buffweeb, I have looked at your messages. They were impartial. They were something. They were comments. They were opinions. I would like you to come up on the main.
Glammy, do you realize that when somebody gets timed out, it deletes all of their messages? So, Shorty, if you didn't see what message he got timed out for, Mono is the mod. Ask Mono.
What did I say to you?
I don't give a fuck what you're saying, Glammy. I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep continuing to speak because you are speaking out of nonsense. You are, once again, just speaking out of nonsense.
Shut your mouth.
Glammy, I'm going to keep talking if I want to. I'm not going to lie. I will keep going.
Damn,
I don't give a fuck.
Like the 12 different Glammy we're dealing with. It's like.
Sit the fuck down. Mr. Buffweeb, get up on the
Stop
main,
peeking
please.
your
I
mic.
would like to speak to you. Why don't you shut the fuck up so I can speak so it doesn't peak? Let's try that.
The Gamers Asylum just donated $5. It's in Glammy. He said he was deleting them himself. How stupid do you look now? Bro, you look like a fucking idiot.
How is he deleting himself?
I'm not gonna lie, you just made yourself look so fucking dumb,
Message
Glammy.
deleted by Mono.
Oh.
I think we need to keep a close eye on Glammy. I
The
think
Gamers Asylum donated and said that Glammy, he said he was deleting them himself. I'm telling you, what an impartial person who I don't fucking know just
The
said.
problem is that regardless of whether that was himself or whatever, I wanted him to jump up because they sounded like opinions that was trying to.
Sure, if he wants to
speak
jump
out,
into
so I
waiting,
wanted to give
fine.
him-
That has nothing to do with his message
That's
being
all I was
deleted.
trying to say was that I wanted him to jump up so that we could talk about it.
We gave
That was it.
everybody the option to jump into waiting, Glammy, and he's still
agree.
talking in the
He
comments
was
because he
trying
doesn't want to
tell
jump
me
up.
and you were trying to silence me or whatever. I don't care whether he redacted them or not.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a good one and having a good day. Hopefully better than the people at lolcownerd. So now this clip was from 2 days ago, so we're talking around like Tuesday or Monday. And this clip particularly was, you know, as you're witnessing the fighting between Zay and Glammy. Now, this isn't the first time they sort of fought on screen, but this is the first time where we're seeing it really, really bubbling up. And I think this has been a long time coming. I'm saying this because, let's be real, without Zay, lolcownerd would have been canceled by now. And I'm saying that very confidently. But on the other hand, you can even make the claim that Glammy is sort of right that Zay is sort of controlling everything and that she's putting her own people in. Now, these points that I'm making are very much obvious. You don't need to have these people say it, but it's very clear. And in this particular clip, and it really, mind you, this part of the clip is around like almost when they were about to be done with the stream. So like around like 30 minutes before they were done with the stream, they started fighting for like a good 30 minutes. They had different people coming in and out. And throughout that, you started to see sort of the complaints that they have towards Zay, right? Where Zay is saying, this is my stream. And even Eric is getting to the point where like, hey, this is also my channel, right? This is our channel. In reality, it's not really their channel, right? And I think anybody can see that. And whether or not you like Zay, I don't like Zay. I've made that very clear. But I can't deny that without Zay, lolcownerd will not be as successful. But at the same time, I think the direction that she's going for is more in line with what the rest of the other shows want. At the same time, not as good. right? Where I think like every other show has sort of a sense of they have certain characters or they have certain people that really fit the show, right? Cafe was, you know, with Ken and Ben. Madhouse was Jaffe. You know, Ozzy and Taz for those people, right? I think in the case of Nerds, they do have a good fit, but it is being run by one person. Now, we've seen this number of times in the other channels, but they're usually clear up within a day or so, right? Or not really brought up at all. Or there's a good balance, right? Obviously, in the sense of Queen is very scripted, so that doesn't really count. Live is like, well, you have 3 egotists, so what do you expect? But I really that's what I'm getting at, right? Because I think Zay is seeing an opportunity that she is grabbing onto no matter what. And she's doing everything she can to make this channel successful. And I don't blame her, but at the same time, we are seeing, you know, the other two hosts, particularly Glammy, really fighting back against Zay because Zay is the one in control. Zay is the one that's running everything. But I mean, Glammy, you had a number of opportunities to where you could step in and manage the show the way you wanted, or even have your own people. Right now, Zay has her own people. Zay has her own crew that is under her. It's not under Eric. It's not under Glammy. It's under her wing. You know, how many times has Zay said that it's her friends that are working with her? Her friends are working with her. Her friends are working for her. Right? And I think that's. We're seeing this becoming a real tension, but at the same time, the drama within, you know, Nerd, it's pretty much what you expect in any other the lolcowlive show. I think if anything, it's not as interesting or not as entertaining, you know, because I think like let's look at Becky or look at like the other hosts where when they have internal strife, they just go full blown out, and it's usually people donate. But I think in the case of Nerd, we're not really seeing that more often. Or we are seeing it, but not a lot of people are entertained by it. And a lot of people was hoping Nerds would be less like the other shows. Well, it was never going to be the case. Right? And with this rising tension between Glammy and Zay, it really puts them it puts the show in a dilemma. Now, what about Eric before we finish the video? Eric takes whatever side is the most beneficial to him. He does not care. And I don't blame the guy. He just takes what side is beneficial or whoever is feeding him the most stuff so he can gain an advantage. And whether it be Glammy or Zay, and because he's around Zay more than anybody else, and obviously they're more closer to age, it's more fitting that he would side with Zay over Glammy. And we've seen a number of times where Eric is willing to side with Zay over Glammy, right? And truthfully, this is why I think Pharaoh was kind of unnecessary. He was very necessary because he balanced everybody off, and not one side had an advantage. Now, that isn't the case, and everything has been tipped over towards Zay's side, at least for now. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one, be safe, and God bless.